Hello class and welcome to Term 1 of 2016. I am Dr. Bird and this is Principles of Microeconomics 2252 and this is your XTIB section. Today I'm going to walk you through this course. I'm going to walk you through the syllabus, through the learning modules, just show you a few things to help you get acquainted with this course overall. So we're going to start on the announcements page in which you're going to find all your announcements for this course that I'll send out on a weekly basis, sometimes on a bi-weekly maybe more than a bi-weekly basis as well. This is really not that necessary right now for you to see, but you will be getting emails of these announcements as well. What I want to do first is jump into the syllabus and course schedule. So let me go ahead and pull up the syllabus. And I need you to read through the syllabus. It's what, 10 pages long, excuse me. So read through the syllabus because there is an early entry assignment on the syllabus and course policies. But I'm just going to highlight a few things that I want you to know definitely coming out of the syllabus to help us get acquainted with this course overall. You can see my contact information here. I don't think this is my Montgomery office, but I will be in the Troy office this term, so you can find that information under my instructor contact. Let's scroll down. If you've taken micro or macroeconomics before at Troy University, then you probably have used this textbook. Now, if you took it online, then you got two access codes. One of those access codes was for macroeconomics, one was for microeconomics. If you already have this book and you have both of those access codes, you do not need to purchase the book again. However, if you don't have this book, you will need to purchase the book in order to get the access codes for MindTap. Now keep in mind, MindTap has a free three-week trial that allows you to access all the course materials online. Okay, so you won't need to necessarily purchase the book today, but you will need to have it at the end of the third week of the course. Now, since I opened up the course a week early to get you acquainted, that 3-week trial may end after week 2 of the term. Now, I might have to make some adjustments there, but we'll come to that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So let me scroll down a little bit more. Electronic office hours. I always have my cell phone on me, so if you send me an email, I'm very quick to respond to that. If you do call me and I don't answer, please leave a voicemail. You can text me. I'm generally pretty easy to get a hold of, so just whatever you need to do to get a hold of me. If you have to ask me any questions, please feel free to do that. If you can't, get me in my office. There are some other things. Let me scroll down here. Course requirements, just go through this list on your own leisure. But basically, when you enter the course, make sure that you go ahead and sign up for MindTap. You can use the free 3-week trial. Make sure you do that. Make sure you go ahead, read through the syllabus, the course policies, take the early entry assignment, and do the week 1 discussion board post. Introduce yourself here and respond to the other students as well. Get to know your fellow classmates, and that's all what this is telling us here. Your online discussion, you're going to have 3 discussion board posts throughout the semester, week 2, 5, and 7. And in those discussion board posts, you're going to watch some videos and respond to some questions that are there. Now, one thing that I've done for this class is I've created about, I think it was like 60 or some odd recorded lectures. They range anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes, and they walk you through all the chapter content. And the last video in each chapter, and I'm going to show you these in a minute, the last video in each chapter also help guide you through your Applia homework. So make sure you view those if you want to get a better understanding of the material. Perhaps you don't want to read it on your own or whatever. MindTap and Applia homework, this constitutes 40% of your course grade, so make sure that you are on top of the Applia homework because you do have Applia assignments every week. Let's see what else. There are 2 tests, your midterm and then your final exam. Your midterm comes in week 6, I believe, and your final exam obviously comes in the very last week of the course. I'll send out information for that when we get to those times. And just a breakdown of your class grading, how it's going to be broken down. You can see that 5% of your course grade is devoted to these introductory assignments. You have a early entry assignment which tests you on, again, the syllabus and course policies. You have an introductory bio post. Just introduce yourself to the class, respond to the other students. And then you also have a math and graphing tutorial inside of Applia. This will help you maneuver a lot of the things that are maneuver a lot of the graphs that you're going to see, a lot of the math that you're going to see in your Apply assignments. So make sure you do those, get those out of the way. Shouldn't be anything too difficult for you. You can see the grading scale as well. Typical grading scale, nothing really fancy there. And then lastly, you can see that I have your course schedule, which is also listed on Blackboard, and you can see what is due when with your course schedule. Now, when you do have discussion board posts, please make sure that you do your discussion board post by Saturday at by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that would be, it might be what, 12:59, I guess, Eastern Standard Time. But make sure you have that done by that time, so you can use Sunday to respond to other students' posts if you haven't done so already. And then this, again, just breaks down everything that you're going to be seeing throughout the course. So I'm going to go ahead and just go back to our Blackboard course page, and I'm going to jump to the recorded lectures to go ahead and show you how these are broken down. So you can see that I have different folders for each chapter, and you go into, let's say, chapter 1 here. And in chapter 1, you're going to have multiple videos like you would for every chapter, but you can see that it tells you what topics are included in each video. And then again, the very last video in each chapter is going to be walkthrough problems or problem walkthroughs. And these are going to be very helpful for you whenever you're going to do your Applia homework. So if you want to view those to help you better understand material, please do so. A lot of the math that you're going to encounter can always be viewed in the last video, along with, you'll see some of the math in some of the other videos as well. Let's go to the learning modules and weekly assignments. You have 8 learning modules total, and then you have your last learning module, which will be your final exam week learning module. But when you go into your learning modules, you're going to see that you can click on each of these and it takes you to a different area or different link inside the learning module. So if I wanted to go to, let's say, the early entry assignment, I'm just going to click on that, and it takes me directly to the early entry assignment. Now, I can also look at the procedures, and inside the procedures, you're going to get all the PowerPoint slides that you need for the course. And these PowerPoint slides actually go along with the recorded lectures, or in most cases they do. And you can also see where you're going to do all the different stuff for the course. You also have different things inside your supplemental materials, so let me go ahead and show you that really quickly. Let me click on 8.1. The first one's always just the folder. Inside the supplemental materials, you have a bunch of different things that are going to be useful for you. For one, you're going to have typically work problems for each chapter. Now, there are no work problems for chapter 1. There's not a lot of math that goes into it. But for chapter 2, each time you see a link for a worked problem set, essentially what it is a Word file that contains multiple questions that give you a step-by-step guide as to how they're solved. You also have other lecture-like videos that are broken down for each chapter. And then in some cases, let's see where they are. Here they are. You have flashcards that go with these. Now, these are going to be linked to your MindTap, so you want to go there and check those out. And then lastly, in your supplemental materials are going to be the practice questions. These do not count for a grade. Okay, these are just simply practice questions based on the material that you see inside of each chapter. Okay, so for each learning module, you have 20 practice questions, and if there are 2 chapters in a learning module, then you get 10 questions per chapter. If there's only one chapter in the learning module, then you get a full 20 questions. You get, I think, what? I give you one or two, I give you 2 attempts. There we are. I give you 2 attempts per practice question set, and then you can go back and review these. And these are very good, very helpful for you whenever you're trying to understand these are very helpful for you when you're studying for your midterm and for your final exam. But again, these do not count towards your final grade, even though they do show up in your grade center. Now, the reason they show up in the grade center is so that you can go back and review the questions that you missed or that you got correct. And then also, inside each learning module, you're going to have links to your Applia homework or your Applia, not your Applia, but your ebook chapters, and then the last thing that you'll typically see inside of each learning module will be videos. Now, if you're using Firefox like I am, you're going to need to, let me just raise this so you can see what I'm talking about. You're going to need to allow Firefox to have access to show you those videos. It's a weird thing. I don't know why it does it, but it does. Okay. Now let's go to your discussion board. In the discussion board, you can see on my screen, you won't be able to see it on your screen just yet, but you can see all the different discussion boards that you have. The Ask the Instructor forum, I ask each of you that when you go into this to make sure you subscribe to the forum. So that way, whenever one student posts a question and then I answer it or another student answers the question, usually that doesn't happen, but that may happen. But if I answer the question, it becomes a public good for every student to see what the answer was to that particular question. And it also helps cut down on the number of questions that are being asked, same questions that are being asked over and over. Lastly, inside this course, I'm just going to go to the syllabus and course info page. This is also a learning module-like environment. But you can see that I give you a Word file and a PDF file for your syllabus. And then there's also a lot of helpful information here for you regarding MindTap files. So you can see in the MindTap files, you can do troubleshooting problems here. You can have different things to help you understand how to work through MindTap. It explains the free trial that's associated with MindTap, all those different things. And there's also a very helpful video. Well, this is a Word file, but there's a video on the announcements page that's very helpful for you to understand how to get 3 attempts per question inside of MindTap. And that's very important. If you did really bad on a particular question, you can go back and redo that question over and over, well, at least till 3 times. So make sure you go through that information. Make sure you understand how to best maximize your grade in this course, given all the information and supplemental material that is available to you. There's some other important information here as well. I want you to go through proctor information, online policies, and procedures. You can mess around in here. You can see how this all works in this course. But make sure you just get in this course, get familiar with it. I'm giving you a full week to get familiar with it because I want to make sure you guys and girls are going to do the best you can do in this course. And if there's anything that I can do to help you get a better grade, outside of just giving you a grade, but help you earn the best grade you can, please let me know. Don't hesitate to ask me questions. Don't hesitate to send me emails, text me, call me, whatever. If there's some problem that's going on, use the Ask the Instructor forum. Use the student lounge to ask your fellow students if they have encountered anything in particular that you're encountering. And that'll help you better succeed in this course. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to let you get into the course on your own, and then ask me anything later. So have a good week, and we'll see you next week for the official start of the term.